Breaking news for every disabled veteran watching right now. There is a deadline coming that the VA has not been shouting from the rooftops, and if you miss it, you could lose benefits you have spent years fighting to earn. Stay with me because I am going to break down exactly what is happening, who is affected, and most importantly what you need to do right now to protect yourself. Let me start with the big picture before we get into the details. The Department of Veterans Affairs has been undergoing significant structural changes heading into 2026. Budget pressures, congressional mandates, and internal VA reviews have all converged at the same time, creating a wave of policy updates that are affecting how benefits are administered, reviewed, and maintained. And here is the thing most veterans do not realize. When the VA makes changes at the administrative level, the burden of staying compliant with those changes falls almost entirely on you, the veteran. The VA sends notices. Some of those notices go to old addresses. Some go to email accounts veterans never check. And some veterans simply do not understand what action is being required of them until it is too late. Now let me get specific about what is driving this deadline situation in 2026. The VA has been conducting what are called disability evaluation reviews, sometimes referred to internally as future exam reviews or periodic reexaminations. These are not new. The VA has always had the authority to schedule reexaminations for certain disability ratings, particularly those that are not considered permanent and total. What is new is the scale at which these reviews are being triggered and the compressed timelines veterans are being given to respond. If you have a rating that is not designated as permanent, meaning the VA believes your condition could improve, you may be required to show up for a compensation and pension exam, commonly called a C&P exam, or submit updated medical documentation within a specific window. Miss that window and the VA can reduce your rating. In some cases, they can propose to sever your benefits entirely. This matters enormously because we are not talking about minor adjustments here. A rating reduction from 70% to 50%, for example, can mean losing hundreds of dollars every single month. And for veterans who are living on that compensation, who have built their entire financial life around that monthly payment, a reduction is not just inconvenient, it is devastating. So who exactly is at risk right now in 2026? Pay close attention here, because this is where a lot of veterans tune out thinking it does not apply to them, and then get hit without warning. You are potentially in the crosshairs if your disability rating was assigned with language indicating it is subject to future review. You are at risk if you received your rating less than 5 years ago, and it has not been upgraded to a permanent status. You are at risk if you have not updated your contact information with the VA recently, meaning if you moved, changed your phone number, or changed your email and did not notify the VA, critical notices may not be reaching you. And you are at risk if you have a combined rating built on conditions that the VA considers potentially improvable. And if you want personalized help understanding your VA benefits, don't do it alone. Join our Veteran Benefits Blueprint private community. The link is in the description below. Here is something the VA will not volunteer to tell you. There is a protection built into the system that many veterans do not know exists. If your rating has been in place for 5 years or more, the VA faces a higher evidentiary standard to reduce it. If it has been in place for 10 years or more, the VA generally cannot sever the service connection even if they try to reduce the percentage. And if you have held a rating for 20 years or more, both the service connection and the rating level are protected. These are called the 5-year, 10-year, and 20-year rules, and understanding where you fall in that timeline is absolutely critical to knowing how vulnerable you are right now. But here is where it gets complicated. The VA has been using a process called the Sustained Presence Review, and under the current administrative environment, some veterans are being caught off guard because they did not realize their particular combination of rated conditions made them eligible for review sooner than they expected. The VA can initiate a review if they have reason to believe your condition has improved, if you have returned to active employment in a way that contradicts your rated limitations, or if new medical evidence enters your VA file that suggests a change in your condition. Now I want to talk about the action steps because knowing the problem without knowing the solution is just anxiety. Here is what you need to do immediately. Step 1. Log into your VA account on va.gov and confirm that your address, phone number, and email are completely current. This sounds basic, but you would be shocked how many veterans have outdated information in the system and are missing notices being sent to them right now. Step 2. Pull up your rating decision letters and look for any language that indicates your rating is subject to future examination. Phrases like scheduled for re-examination or future exam warranted are the red flags you are looking for. If you see that language, you need to be proactive rather than waiting for a notice that may or may not arrive. Step 3. Contact your VA regional office or work with an accredited Veterans Service Officer, a VSO, to get clarity on your current status. VSOs are free to use. They are specifically trained to help veterans navigate exactly this type of situation, and they can pull information about your file that you may not be able to access on your own. Step 4. And this one is particularly important right now. If you receive any notice from the VA requesting a C&P exam or requesting updated medical documentation, treat that notice as if your benefits depend on it, because they literally do. Do not ignore it. Do not set it aside planning to deal with it later. The deadlines on those notices are real and the consequences of missing them are immediate. Step 5. If you have private medical providers who treat the conditions related to your VA rating, get current documentation from them. Having up-to-date medical records that confirm the ongoing nature and severity of your condition is your best protection against a rating reduction. And if you want personalized help understanding your VA benefits, increasing your rating, or avoiding another denial, don't do it alone. Join our private community, Veteran Benefits Blueprint. It's where I break everything down even more step by step, answer questions directly, and give you templates and tools that have helped thousands of veterans get the benefits they earned. The link is in the description box below. I'd love to see you inside. Now I want to address something directly because I know some veterans watching this are thinking, the VA would never actually reduce my rating without good reason. I understand that instinct, but the reality is, the VA has reduced ratings on veterans who did everything right, who showed up to their exams, who submitted their paperwork, simply because the examination process is imperfect. C&P examiners vary in their training and their understanding of specific conditions. The examination itself might only be 15 or 20 minutes long, and that brief snapshot in time becomes the basis for a decision that affects your life every single month going forward. This is why you cannot afford to be passive right now. The veterans who protect their benefits are the ones who stay engaged with the process, who know their rights, who show up prepared, and who do not assume the system is automatically going to take care of them. Let me also talk about the appeals process briefly, because if you have already received a proposed rating reduction, or you have recently had a rating reduced, you have rights and you have options. You can file a supplemental claim with new and relevant evidence. You can request a higher level review. You can appeal to the Board of Veterans Appeals. The key is that you must act within the notice period you were given. Typically that is 60 days from the date of the VA's proposed action letter. After that window closes, your options become significantly more limited and more expensive in terms of time and energy to pursue. The veterans who are most vulnerable in this current environment are the ones who are isolated from information, who do not have a VSO, who do not have family or friends helping them navigate the system, and who receive a notice in the mail that uses bureaucratic language they do not fully understand. That is exactly why videos like this one matter. You deserve to know what is happening. You deserve to know the deadlines. You deserve to know your rights before the deadline passes, rather than after. And if you want personalized help understanding your VA benefits, don't do it alone. Join our Veteran Benefits Blueprint private community. The link is in the description below. Do not wait for the VA to tell you there is a problem with your file. Be proactive. Check your contact information today. Review your rating decision for reexamination language today. Connect with a VSO if you do not already have one today. And if you have received any notice from the VA in the last 30 days that you have not fully addressed, make that your #1 priority right now. Share this video with every veteran you know. The ones who need this information most are often the ones least likely to find it on their own. Leave a comment below if you have questions about your specific situation, or if you have already been through a rating review and want to share your experience. Our community of veterans is strongest when we look out for each other, and I will see you in the next one.